Squad.
What up, party people? Welcome back to another episode of Hood Talk. Let's get it. Today's news in the hood, I will be speaking on a death row case with Jessie Hoffman. Get your popcorns ready. It's going to be a good one, y'all. See, man, look. I'm not going to bash Jessie Hoffman because I, too, were sitting in jail. And you know, like I said, 1998, yeah, you heard it right. That's where he was. And that's when it happened. Well, the case happened in 1996, but Jessie
taking office last year, Governor Jeff Landry of Louisiana pushed through bills that lengthened the prison sentences and eliminated parole for most new convictions. And he argued that resuming executions after a long lull would signal the state was serious about cracking down on crime. Well, today the state did just that. The New York Times reports carrying out its first execution since 2010 and used nitrogen gas, a method that was first used by Alabama last year and that was legalized by Louisiana lawmakers shortly afterward. Back out live to New Orleans. So a press conference just wrapped up. You're going to hear from the Attorney General there in the state of Louisiana and some of these reporters who witnessed the execution there as well. Let's listen.
For the case that he, I'm not going to say allegedly committed, he committed because obviously he was convicted for it. So there's more than me think that he did it, right? I don't remember the case.
In accordance with the execution warrant issued by the 22nd Judicial District Court in St. Tammany Parish and the laws of the state of Louisiana,
with that being said,
the execution of death row inmate Jessie Hoffman was carried out by Nytrogen Hypoxia
Jessie Hoffman, right?
March 18, 2025,
finally put
at the Louisiana State Penitentiary. Mr. Hoffman was pronounced deceased by the West Feliciana Parish Coroner's Office at approximately 6:50 p.m.
Mr. Hoffman is the first person to be put to rest by
on June 25, 1998. In accordance with the jury recommendation, was sentenced to death on September 11,
It's been up for debate for years.
Beginning at 6:30
all around the world
this morning, Mr. Hoffman had visitation
with his family,
all around the world, his attorneys,
systematically wise. United States of America.
Mr. Hoffman's visitation with his family concluded.
Some people were
Mr. Hoffman's attorney was permitted to remain with him until approximately 5:10 p.m.
The United States government
the attorney was allowed to return around 6 p.m.
And up until this day, some also believe that
relief from the U.S.
just
Supreme
because
Court. Mr. Hoffman's spiritual advisor remained with him the entire time and walked with him into the execution chamber. Mr. Hoffman
voluntarily killed someone
at approximately 6:12 p.m.
That doesn't give the state the necessary right to
positioned on the
punish that person
and the mask that delivered the nitrogen was set in place. Mr. Hoffman's spiritual advisor was led into the execution chamber, and a member of the execution team remained inside the execution chamber with the spiritual advisor for security.
Legislators,
individuals from the Louisiana Department
as well
of
as the
Justice,
president,
Louisiana Governor's Office, the St.
prior
Tammany
president,
Parish District
up
Attorney's
until
Office,
the current president,
along with media representatives from the Advocate/Times-Picayune, and
me personally, my take on it is
Mr. Hoffman's execution. At approximately 6:20
since I've
p.m.,
been
the
aware
curtains of the witness chamber opened.
Death row, right?
Louisiana State Penitentiary Warden
I know they started with
provided Mr. Hoffman with the opportunity to make a last verbal statement.
The
Mr.
electric
Hoffman
chair.
declined a statement.
Since I can remember, right? And that word
At
that
approximately 6:20 p.m.,
an inmate get
Warden
convicted,
Bernard
go on
informed
that
the
road,
witness
you
that
run
the
out
state
of
would now
appeals,
carry out the execution of condemned inmate
none,
Jessie Hoffman.
I guess.
Mr.
You
Hoffman's
have no more
spiritual
room to
advisor
fight.
remained
It's
inside
time
the
to die.
execution chamber
It's time to reap
and
the
carried
reaper,
out the
right?
previously
Face the reaper,
approved
rather,
written plan to
for
assist
the
Mr.
crime
Hoffman
that you have
with the
been
exercise
convicted
of his
for,
spiritual
right?
beliefs.
So,
nitrogen gas began to flow at approximately 6:21
back in the days,
p.m.
like I said, that I can remember,
approximately
it was
19
ones
minutes.
that
At approximately
sit you in the chair.
6:40 p.m., the curtain to the witness chamber
unfortunately,
closed,
like,
and Mr.
for those
Hoffman's
of you who
spiritual
don't know, right,
advisor
and this
was
is public
permitted
record,
time to remain in the
I ask you all
execution chamber
to
in accordance to the written
Google,
plan prior
for
to the
those
coroner
of you who
entering
don't
the
know,
execution chamber.
George
I believe it
Stinney
was
Jr.
5 minutes. Subsequently, the
George
curtain to the
Stinney
witness
Jr.
chamber
Well,
opened,
George
and Warden
Stinney
Bernard
Jr.
informed the
is,
witnesses that at approximately
up until this
6:50
day,
p.m., the execution of Mr. Hoffman was
has
carried
been
out
the youngest
in accordance with the
United
laws of the
States
state of Louisiana.
of
I'll turn it
America.
over to Attorney General.
I'm not gonna say prisoner because the guy in the baby wasn't a prisoner. He wasn't an inmate. Back then, those rules and the way the law was set up, it was totally opposite of our rights, right?
Was Mary
and I say
Margaret
our meaning black people, Afro-American people. It was set up against
she was known to her friends as Molly,
the Afro-American people, right? So that little baby was charged at 13 years old with a double homicide.
On Thanksgiving Day,
and
a duck hunter found Molly
another
naked,
11-year-old and a 9-year-old
abandoned
baby.
on a makeshift dock.
Two little white
kids, right?
She had been
shot in the head, execution style, after
Johnston and Jr. were charged for that murder.
Robbed, terrorized,
and 70 years later,
and
he were exonerated
to this desolate
for it.
Spot for her
which
death.
Is bullshit.
Molly was brutally
right? So
and mercilessly raped and murdered. She was only 28
when the
years
states,
old.
the government
That
killed that little baby.
30 years ago. Tonight,
they literally
justice was served for Molly Elliott.
They literally
and for
put
the state
that little
of
boy
Louisiana.
in a electric chair.
Molly's husband
back in
told
those days,
Today,
you know, they used to put the
Molly
thing on top of your head.
Person who missed out on motherhood, a
some type of metal, put it on top of your head for the shocking of the boat
on the property we
to come through
together.
that.
Hers was a life that was
miss
so
through your
full
whole
of hope
body,
and
right?
promise for a beautiful future.
Now,
the loss of Molly
this little
is
baby
a
was
scar
so
we will
small.
forever carry,
like I
and
said,
it will
13
never
years
heal.
old. He walked in that
Governor
road.
Landry
Back
and
in
I
those
made a
days,
promise to the citizens
you know,
of Louisiana and the
they was
family
killing you in
members
the
of the
county
victims
jail.
of these heinous crimes that we would
you know,
put them first, and that we
back
would
in
follow
those days,
the law.
it was much worse. You know,
The last
Ku
execution in
Klux
Louisiana
Klans
was
and
in 2010
those white racist
of
people.
Gerald Bourdillon, who
They
waived
ran
all
his
of his
parents
final
out of
appeals.
town. Told them if
Justice
they
has
come to
been
court, what they were
delayed
going to do to
for
them as
these
well.
victims and
So
their families for
imagine
far
how
too
he
long.
felt as a little kid,
I,
being
along with my
accused
office,
and ridiculed
remain
and
committed
treated
to
bad
ensuring that justice is carried out
in here for something you didn't do.
in all the death
He
penalty
don't know what's
cases.
going on. He a baby.
Jessie Hoffman was convicted and sentenced
They
to death
set the little boy
by a
on a
jury for his
Bible.
heinous crimes.
He walked in
He
death row with a
received
Bible.
multiple appeals.
You know, because how this
He
works is
received
when you go to jail,
even more appeals and review
I
in
forgot
the
what they
last
call it, a counselor,
several
a priest.
Now
He comes
faces his
around and he
ultimate
talks to
judgment
inmates
before God.
for however many time they want or he wish to, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or whatever, right?
We'll
and he also distributes Bibles, right? So George Stinney, he had a Bible with him when he went into death row to be held there for his case, right? And when it was time for him to die, they set the little baby on the Bible because he was too short. And that still didn't work.
Come on up here.
Like I said, I don't want to make this about George Stinney Jr. I'm just showing you the comparison, right? So of the evolving differences of the electric chair to
morale was not affected.
then they moved to the needle,
you know,
whereas
I
forgot the name. I'm sorry, I apologize.
I'm so proud of my team.
I forgot the two medications that they used to administer into your veins while you lay on the
I am proud of them.
on the bed, on whatever they call that thing,
inmates,
right?
Today,
in
quiet,
the dead room.
That's to be expected.
So,
I've seen that in the
but
past.
then it was the thing about
No problem,
that take too
very
long, right?
respectful.
Some of the inmates went to foaming by the mouth, and they went to going in convulsions, and it took too long to kill the prisoner, right? The convict who's been charged with it.
But the governor and I both been in
from
contact with them.
From what I understand, it was something like 5 minutes, which was too long, right? So people were protesting against it, saying that, okay, however, if this is the case, why not just send them out without no type of torture? So, you know, you kind of get where I'm going with this, what I'm indicating, right? What the people was fighting up against the system. So for over a year, they were using a plethora of different aspects
I'll check my staff, as everybody knows, we follow the
alleviating
protocol
one's
of
body,
Alabama.
right?
Again,
So
we let them lead
that's
the
what
way,
we
and we followed
came
them. We actually
about now. What we have is the nitrogen, right? So with that being said, man, salute to Jessie Power family, salute to the victim family, and you know, I'm gonna wrap it up, and until next time, man, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to be alerted when I upload more videos. This is not the talk, this is hood talk. If you know somebody that's struggling with mental or mental illness, do not be afraid to offer them an assistance.
STP,